Gazelle is one of the smallest, but not the smallest, standard gauge locomotives ever built, weighing in at only 5 tons 10 hundredweight. She was built by Alfred Dodman of the Highgate foundry in King's Lynn in 1893. Dodman was a builder of traction engines and also supplied fairground equipment, and there is a strong suggestion that the boiler came from a set of steam gallopers. It's all a bit magic roundabout. Gazelle was built for Mr. William Burkitt, a seed and corn dealer, for his own private use. He was one of the wealthiest men in Norfolk, with business interests in the east of England and also in Chesterfield in Derbyshire, where he grew up. Despite the oft-repeated suggestion that Gazelle was used by Burkitt for his business trips, and that he enjoyed running rights over the Midland and Great Northern and the Great Eastern Railway, research by the Colonel Stevens Museum shows there is no evidence to support this claim. However, on one occasion, in July 1897, Gazelle ran from King's Lynn to Chesterfield, a distance of 105 miles in 5 hours and 10 minutes, and made the return trip in 5 hours 25 minutes. This must have been something of a grueling ordeal for Burkitt, who was by then pushing 70. Design work on Gazelle began in March 1892 by Mr. S. Stone of the Stratford Works of the Great Eastern Railway. Built as a 222 well tank, the railway engineer of August 1893 describes, quote, "To ensure the engine running as noiselessly as possible and to minimise the annoyance from dust, the wheels are of the Mansell type, with polished teak segments. The driving wheels have special clips inserted in the boss and retaining rings. The flange of the boss and the nuts will be covered by a polished brass casing on each wheel." The same article goes on to describe that the cylinders measure a mere 4 by 9 inches and are widely spaced. This is because the crank axle is fitted behind the firebox, and the crank throws, connecting rods and eccentrics run between the sides of the firebox and the frame. Maintenance must have been an absolute nightmare. The water tank beneath the footplate carries 120 gallons of water, and 2 Gresham and Craven self-starting injectors were fitted to refill the boiler, which ran at 60 psi. At the bunker end of the locomotive was a small passenger compartment, entered from the rear, which sat 2 persons on each side. Gazelle was completed in January 1893 at a cost of £250 and underwent a test run on the 5th of February 1893, where it reached a maximum speed of 43 miles per hour. How often Gazelle was used is not clear, as she was offered for sale 3 times, first in 1894 following the death of Burkitt's wife, again between 1898 and 1900, and finally in 1910, after the death of William Burkitt, when it was acquired by Thomas W. Ward of Sheffield, and it was from Ward whom Colonel Holman Frederick Stevens purchased it for use on his rather ramshackle Shropshire and Montgomeryshire Light Railway as an inspection locomotive. In the following year, 1911, Gazelle was rebuilt by Bagnall of Stafford as an 042 well tank with tiny 2 foot 3 inch Mansell type driving wheels. Bagnall also added the cab and enclosed the passenger compartment, which also included luggage rails on top. Gazelle was then used on passenger services, pulling a former horse tram to carry its passengers. Derelict in 1935, she was restored to working order in 1937 as an inspection locomotive. She was out of use by 1945. In 1949, Gazelle entered preservation, being put on display at the parade ground of the Longmoor Military Railway in Hampshire. When that railway closed in 1970, Gazelle was acquired by the National Railway Museum and for many years, thanks to her links with Colonel Stevens, was put on display at the now defunct Museum of Army Transport in Beverley. Gazelle can now be seen at the Colonel Stevens Museum in Tenterden. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please leave a comment below. Please also like, share and subscribe. You can also show your appreciation for Rail Story and the work of this channel by supporting it on Patreon. And I look forward to seeing you all next time on Rail Story.